why do you measure your wealth in dollars or euros? What if there's a better way? In this video, we're going to explore the difference between fiat mindset and a Bitcoin mindset. And more importantly, how you can leverage your money to build real lasting wealth. So, most people count their financial success in fiat currency. But there's a harsh reality. If you are not generating at least 13% return per year, your purchasing power is shrinking. Why? Because inflation, money printing, and economic policies debase the value of your money over time. Let's break this down. Here we have the fiat mindset, and here we have the Bitcoin mindset. If we start with the fiat mindset, we have, as a start, we have 8% of global money supply that's expanding every year. So in the average, the expansion of your fiat currency is average of 8% per year. On top of this, we have 3 to 6% inflation in average. So that comes down to what I'm talking about before with this 13% of debasement. So if we go over to Bitcoin instead, then what we have is actually 50% CAGR over the last 5 years in average. And CAGR stands for compound annual growth rate. And if we look forward in like 20-25 years ahead, I would do the estimate, and what the experts are doing estimates is around 25% CAGR. So 25% CAGR over the next 25 years. This fiat-based mindset forces people into a rat race, taking more risk, working harder, and constantly seeking new ways to beat inflation. It also creates a limiting belief that you can never truly live off your wealth. Instead, you're always in pursuit of more. Now, let's shift perspective. So what if, instead of measuring your wealth in fiat, you're measuring it in Bitcoin? Historically, Bitcoin has outperformed every asset. As you see, it boosted a return of over 50% CAGR in the past 5 years. Bitcoin fundamentally changed the way you think about wealth. Rather than constantly seeking higher yield investments or working harder to maintain your purchasing power, Bitcoin's long-term growth allows you to store value passively. Okay, but let's be objective. One of the biggest challenges of adopting a Bitcoin mindset endures short-term volatility. So Bitcoin's price goes up and down significantly. And if you're focused on fiat valuations, you might panic during downturns. However, missing just the best 15 trading days in a year could mean missing out of 80% of Bitcoin's gains. So let's recap a bit. We have actually volatility as a bad thing for Bitcoin. And we have also, you can see that you have like 15 days that stands for 80% of the gains per year. So on the flip side, if you stick with a fiat mindset, you're forced into complex investment strategies just to tread water. You have to constantly rebalance your portfolios, take on leverage, and stay ahead of financial manipulation just to maintain your purchasing power. So let's put this into perspective with a simple real-world example. So 5 years ago, 2020, we're going to compare to today, 2025, with a fiat mindset and a Bitcoin mindset. 2020, the value of Bitcoin was $8,000 in average. And say that you have done $8,000 in your bank account without any interest. Then, due to 13% yearly debasement, 8,000 has now only a value of 4,616 when it comes to your actual purchasing power. So if we go over to Bitcoin instead, the price for a Bitcoin today is right now for the moment around $88,000. And when we add the yearly debasement of these 5 years, similar as we've done here, the real value of this 88,000 is going to be 45,848. Okay, so then if we summarize this, the difference actually between holding 8,000 in Bitcoin in 5 years here or here is almost 10x. So let's go over now what's happened if we use these different mindsets. Here, in a fiat mindset, I always try to find assets and investments that outpace my 13% debasement per year. So I find assets that give me back my 13% decrease. That's the aim here. So all the assets and investments that I can do that I believe can give me 13% or more back, I want to do. And in Bitcoin mindset, we have actually 25%, and then I take away the basement of 13%. Then I have at minimum 12% increase in my purchasing power per year. So a lot less stress, because now I can only focus on the investments that actually gives me or brings me more than this 12%. And I also get a lot more careful which investments I take, so I don't decrease my growth from Bitcoin. So why should I take out my money from Bitcoin, lose my 12% of increasing purchasing power, and try to make more over here? It's only gonna give me more stress and probably gonna make me lose my purchasing power over time. So now when we establish how Bitcoin outperforms fiat in preserving and growing wealth, the next logical step is asking, how can we take this opportunity even further? If Bitcoin already provides exponential growth, is there a way to amplify this effect and maximize your wealth building potential? The answer is yes, and it lies to leveraging Bitcoin's power to create even greater financial opportunities. So instead of just holding Bitcoin, what if you could use it as a tool to accelerate your financial freedom? That's where the concept of leverage came to play. In the next segment, we will dive deep into how you can use 4 key types of leverage to not just match Bitcoin's performance, but outperform it. Let's break it down. So first, we have human leverage. Instead of trading time for money, use employees, freelancers or consultants to exponentially increase your productivity and earnings. And second, we have financial leverage. This is the traders use short-term, high-leverage positions with strict risk control to maximize gains. Additionally, to borrow or lending against assets allow you to invest or temporarily take out profits without selling. So the next one is technology leverage. AI, automation, or industries and digital platforms enable you to scale without needing additional labor. The richest individuals don't work harder, they make technology work for them. So the next one is social media leverage. Platforms like YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok allows you to reach millions for free, building wealth through content and influence. The wealthy people are already using all these different leverages. So now it's your time to find how you can utilize this in your life. So if you look into human leverage, financial leverage, tech leverage, and social media leverage, how can you use one of them or actually stack them all 4 together in something that gives you something that outcompetes your Bitcoin investments? So the question is now, are you still stuck in a fiat mindset, watching your purchasing power decline, or are you embracing Bitcoin's effortless growth? More importantly, are you ready to take it to the next level by leveraging Bitcoin and scale it even further?